Hello, this is Quinn Parsley, and today we're going to be checking out the Wii Sports Resort main theme. So this is a little bit of a longer melody than some of the previous ones we've looked at, so let's just jump right in and take a look. Alright, so we're going to start off with this pattern right here. Really cool kind of shape right here. We've got the note F, G, C, D, F, E, F, F. Gives you this kind of suspended sound out of the chord here. Nothing too tricky there other than this little roll you have to do at the top of that. Now we're into the kind of first riff from the song. Again, nothing too difficult there in terms of playing the notes. Rhythm can be a little interesting right there because we have a few 16th note offbeats. Going on to the next part, this is like the first melody to the song. Again, nothing too hard in terms of playing notes, but this time we have a few quarter note triplets that we want to watch out for. Quarter note triplets have this kind of staggered feeling over the beat, so watch out for those. Make sure you listen to the track a lot if you have any trouble getting the feel for those. Moving into the next section, we're up around 5th position. The end of that phrase sort of ends on the downbeat of this upcoming measure right here. So I'm in 5th position right here. I'm using a lot of my 1st, 3rd, and 4th fingers. So don't neglect your pinky fingers when you're playing through this. Let's see. Just for that section right there, I do shift down to 4th position very briefly just to get this B note right here. You could actually also play that note open if you wanted to, and I actually do that in the next measure here. And that just gives me a little bit of time to get back down towards open position here so I can grab the notes for this next part. Again, nothing too tricky, just a few interesting rhythms. One thing to just kind of watch as I'm in this section, notice I'm using a lot of my 1st and 3rd finger. For a lot of this, I'm doing a 1 finger per fret kind of idea. So if I'm on the 1st fret, I'm going to use my 1st finger. But if I need to move up to the 2nd fret on any string, I'm going to use my 2nd finger. Similarly, if I use the 3rd finger, that's going to be on the 3rd fret, and if I use my 4th finger, that'll be on the 4th fret. Just so I can stay in one position here and not shift around too much. Okay, so going into this part, this will be our next section right here. Nothing too tricky there either. Just notice at the end I'm rolling with my 4th finger to go from 8 on the B string, that's the note G, up to the C note, that's on the 8th fret of the high E string. Back down to the 5th fret on the G. You may have to lift off on this note a little early just so you can get in position down here. We'll have the notes F, G, have an A flat here, to a B flat, and then this will be the next really interesting part of the song right here. So we have a few tricky arpeggios. Let me play through them for you. So we have a lot of string crossing in this section right here. You may choose to either alternate pick your way through this, or you could even sweep pick a little bit. So for instance, on this first arpeggio right here, this sort of E major arpeggio, coming down, I could get that all with one big upstroke. I could also alternate pick through that, maybe something like down, up, totally up to you, whatever feels more comfortable. For me, I might just alternate pick pick through it just so it's a little bit clearer, but again, totally up to you how you want to do it. So we have sort of an E major arpeggio here coming down sort of to like a G flat or an F sharp major arpeggio. Really interesting choice from the composer. Now there's 2 ways you could play through this. Actually, there's 3 ways now that I think about it. You could either come down with your 2nd finger, 4th finger, 3rd finger, and then jump to your 1st here. you could maybe do something like second finger and then roll your fourth finger here. Or you could reposition this B flat note over to the low E string and do something like. And you could actually probably get it faster that way. It's just a matter of what feels comfortable for you. Going into this next part, we have kind of a D major arpeggio right here. So some kind of transition notes. For this D major arpeggio right here, I did open D and open A in the video. You could also do this, where I actually fret the D note on the A string, and then we just transition into the next part. That's all the same right here, but then we have a different couple of notes here. C, F, C. And then here's one of the tougher parts of this melody. We have this kind of long scale run up the fretboard. So we have this. So that actually starts off as one scale, but then shifts into another scale in the middle of it. So we start off with something that's kind of like an E major scale. And then we switch to something that's like a B flat major scale. Ending on the note G right at the end. One thing that is nice about that is the picking pattern is very consistent through that. So you could just do something that's like down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down throughout the whole thing. It gives you kind of like a horse gallop kind of rhythm. If you just sort of do it on one note and you speed it up. When you do it across the notes, you get this. This up. This really cool rhythm as you move through the scale. Okay, moving on to the next section, we have this. Couple really interesting harmonic changes in there. Nothing too difficult in terms of rhythm, just still a lot of like little 16th notes here and there, but mostly, you know, 8th notes through a lot of that. Do notice that I'm playing up in the third position a lot right here, especially as I get up to about right here. Again, I'm still using that one finger per fret sort of idea, so when I'm in third position right here, all these 5th frets I'm getting with my third finger, and all these 6th frets I'm getting with my 4th finger. So I do have to use a lot of my 2 weaker fingers here, but it just helps me stay in one spot and not shift around too much right here. Okay, so after we get done hitting this C note over on the G string right here, we're going to hang on to that for a while, and then we're going to come in on the and of 4 on this high C. This is 13th fret of the B string right here. A lot of really cool patterns in there. A little tricky, having to come in on the and of 4 right there. And then again on the and of 1. Also this shape right here at the towards the end, we have 13, 11, 11. Very tricky pattern. We have a string skip, and then we're also playing like one note on a string. Very tricky for the right hand there. I'm doing another roll with my pinky finger there at the end. And then holding on to the 13th fret. Okay, we're going to hold on to that for an entire bar, and then we have about 3 full beats of rest, and then we're going to come in on the and of 4 right here. Just to cap off our melody right there. Okay, again, nothing too difficult right there. Again, notice I'm using a lot of my 4th finger there. I'm in 12th position. Again, just personal preference, but you know, you can use whatever fingers you'd like for right there. Alright, so that is the Me Sports Resort theme. Thank you all for watching, and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of these.